Get angry about it!
Shell anxiously yells from the stern. The carved-out wooden canoe slows down rapidly, despite the motor's efforts to continue on. On one side of the river, instructors carry no time charts. On the other side sits the team, recently deposited, relaxed, and ignorant. In between the two, an indigenous Brazilian, a New Zealander, an Aussie, and 2 Americans ferociously bail out a motorboat. Having successfully mastered the art of flipping in rapids, grasped the proper way to hammock from soaking sleepless nights, and determined just how many people can fit in a 4-person tent, we felt masters of the Amazon River basin. Our plan was to land at the village, disassemble gear, and paddle across river to wait for our bus's arrival. However, at the Munduruku village, the leader graciously offered to ferry us across by motorboat. The hand-carved canoe, in which the motor sits on a wooden plank tied down to the motorist's seat. Following my instructor, Rachel, and peer, Shell, I plucked myself out of a bed of clay and plopped into the bow seat. Dan flopped in, we pushed off waving goodbye, but as Dan and I gaily chatted away, Rachel and Shell were handed a plastic cup. The 14-year-old driver mimed to throw out water, a commonplace activity that did not concern me, not realizing that while the water only lapped at our feet, it was quickly rising to our cohort's calves. I cranked back my head so Dan could hear me. Should we start bailing?
Nah, they've got it covered. There's like no water up here.
Shell caught my eye.
Bail!
I looked around my feet. 2 water bottles, a dry bag, a margarine lid? We don't have anything to bail with, I replied.
Then find something,
Rachel quickly retorted. The scene at one end of the boat quickly became the other's antithesis. The lazy glug of Dan's water bottle lethargically draining, and light drizzles from my lid versus the thunder-like smacks of water colliding.
Okay, so how comfortable is everyone with swimming?
I hear Rachel question, answering a mechanical fine, with the realization that we had packed our life jackets at the bottom of the pile.
Stay with the boat. The last thing we want to do is lose all this gear.
My mind rages. The gear? You're thinking about the gear. An enormous 100-liter red mass floats out of my peripheral vision. A Bill's bag has gone for a little swim without my consultation.
Lottie, get it!
Rachel yells out. With complete resolve, I fling my body into the water like a 2-year-old in floaties, gracefully doggy paddling to my target. I grasp the bag's strap, turn around to see the boat. Not flipped over, a rock appears to be holding up the bow of the boat. I stand up on a bed of rocks, realizing that my lame splashing is not necessary.
This poor guy.
Rachel points out the driver, blank-faced and shell-shocked as a soldier.
I can only imagine his thoughts. Shit, how am I gonna explain this one?
Chortles Rachel, as she reaches for her waterproof case. The driver attempts to cover a shocked disgust as my instructor pulls out her professional camera and wades to the rock. From the shore comes a faint outline of a boat. This was the Amazon's farewell to us, flipping us off, a reminder never to let down our guards. The lesson we would continue to learn in the following month and a half, but that's another story.